Welcome back. We are still in phase two, and now we're going to be focusing on the securing side of finding, securing, and onboarding your VA. This is video 2.2, and in this lesson, we will be walking you through finalizing the VA roles and initial tasks, securing your VA from our LVA Finder form, also interview questions, our LVA hiring process, and then some essential steps to complete before hiring a VA. So finalizing VA roles and initial tasks, this is before hiring your VA. So important, do not hire a VA without being clear on what you want them to do. I'll say that again, do not hire a VA without being clear on what you want them to do. There have been many people who have decided, hey, let's leverage a virtual assistant for our business, but they don't really even know what the VA can help them do. And within weeks, the whole thing falls apart. So you've already done some work based on the work you have completed in phase one and also your summary sheet as a guide. It's time to get clear on the main roles and the initial tasks you'll be hiring your VA for. These will primarily be what helps you buy back your time versus just capacity. And then also be aware, the VA will also be going through trainings on getting acclimated to the world of commercial real estate while they're doing these initial tests. So you're going to write out the three main roles you'll be hiring the VA for. You can summarize each role. It could be for lead generation. It could be for lead management, maybe data entry, admin support, that kind of thing. So if you are stuck, click the link below. It'll take you back to the list of roles that a VA can help with, and put down your top three. You need minimum of one. We recommend at least two, but if you'd like to have three, put all three down. All right. And then to help your VA get started focused on the right things, it's important they understand your expectations on what they'll be helping you with. So you're going to write out now three initial tasks that you'll have your VA start out with. These tasks are not going to be training tasks. These are going to be tasks that are, once again, helping you buy back your time. So put down your top three, get them summarized, get really clear on that. And then once you have those, we want you to figure out what skills will be needed, what tools, software, or platforms will be required, and then what does the role and task fall under. And so lead generation, this could be cold calling. If they're going to be helping you out with your email, that's part of the admin support. Just check that off so it's really clear where they are going to be helping you out with. So now moving on to securing your VA, we'll be collecting your finalized needs. And to do that, we're going to ask you for a few things. Number one, in the summary section at the end of the phase one discovery worksheet, we'd like you to fill that out and have it ready. Then also make sure you have the main roles and initial tasks dialed in. And then you're going to click this link and you're going to fill out our LVA Finder form. And that will ask you quite a few questions, getting us really clear. So the form will help us source a VA that does line up specifically to your needs and your business. And note, this whole process takes approximately 7 to 14 days. And as a reminder, all this is going on while you're going through the course. Our goal is to have a VA ready for you by the time you finish this course. So interview questions for your top three VAs. You will be interviewing three of the top VA selected candidates that we come up with, and you will use the provided list of interview questions that are broken into various categories to better understand and get to know the potential VAs. So each candidate's interview will be approximately 30 minutes. Asking good questions will reveal needed information to help you determine if they're a good fit for you and your team. And then you're going to pick roughly 8 to 10 questions from the interview list that you feel most comfortable asking. We recommend you have to have at least 5. 8's a really good number, but you can get through 5 to 10 questions pretty easily within the time allotted. And then we also suggest that you ask the same exact questions to all three candidates. This is an example of what that interview questions for the VA looks like. And you can see how these are broken down: English proficiency, logistics, experience, references, availability, soft skills, which is more going into some of their personal things, personal development, and then bonus questions. And so for, some brokers, they're going to be wanting someone that can do really good at cold calling. And couple of top questions here is like, what shows did you watch when you were a kid? If they say things like Sesame Street or other American shows, chances are they will probably have a much better version and understanding of the English language. The Tagalized version would be in their own dialect, where the English version is where they're picking up different skills from English. So yeah, it might be a great question to ask them if you're trying to figure out their English proficiency. On the logistics, they are a third world country. They have power outages, they have typhoons, they have earthquakes. You could ask them if they have any of those, would they be able to have a backup? Is there an internet cafe nearby? That kind of thing. You could ask them experience. How would you describe yourself? And have they done any internship work? References. Have they ever worked with someone from the U.S. before? Availability. We're going to be asking every VA to be available during the night shift. But once again, it might be a great way to bring that up and just say, hey, we're looking for this. Are you good with it? And just get that validation. On the soft skills, the personal stuff, you could ask them things of hobbies. What do they enjoy doing? Is there any activities they do outside of work? The personal development, this will be huge. You'll be asking a few questions from here. We recommend, why do you think you are perfect for this job? What are your greatest achievements? What are your goals? What have you done in the last 12 months to improve your skills? And then on the bonus questions, these are all good. My favorite one's the top one. What questions do you have for me about the job? I love a VA that's communicative, that explains and has questions for me as well. So there you go. Those are the interview questions. Pick at least 5. We recommend up to 8 to 10. Okay, so the LVA hiring process for the VA. So once you pick your VA to hire, we're going to need some information from you. Number 1, the start date, that they will officially be on your team. We recommend it be within a week of the interview. Then what is the work schedule they'll be following? This can be your current 8 to 5 or a variance like 7 to 4, 9 to 6. Or if you're one of those brokers that never have any time in the mornings at all and everything needs to be pushed in the afternoons, you could always do that. But our recommendation is they work your current work schedule. You're out and about doing commercial real estate all day. It's awesome to have somebody in the wings who's dedicated just for you 40 hours per week. And then lastly, the salary that you plan on paying the VA, and we recommend nothing lower than $5 an hour. Now, once you pick your VA, we're going to be emailing them a congratulations, you're hired email, and it will reference next steps, start date, work schedule, salary, and I'll show you an example in a minute. But also, we're going to have the VA provide the following documents: a signed contract, signed supporting statement, completed W-8BEN tax document, and then a signed VA rules handbook. Once we get that back from the VA, we'll hand them over to you, and then you can add all those documents inside your VA folder / the VA documents folder. And then note, these are all required before the VA is allowed to start working for you. So here's an example of that congratulations, you're hired email. Once you do select that VA and we send this email out, we typically can get it out within 24 hours of that. So it'll say congratulations, their first name, congratulations, you were the top candidate, you're officially hired. We are excited to have you on board and start working with you. Your employer contact information, this will be your information we'll give them. The start date, we'll have that data on there. Also, this is the next steps. To get started, please follow these steps. Open this first day VA orientation document link. We'll show you that in a little bit. This will provide you onboarding process and necessary steps. If you're able to get some of the tasks completed prior to your first day, it will help us hit the ground running. If you aren't able to do so, it's okay. We will be requiring a time tracker only to monitor how long tasks and projects take to complete. It's important your pay is on a salary basis. Now, side note here. You can get in the trap of micromanaging and saying, oh, they only put in 37 and a half hours. Or, oh my gosh, am I going to pay overtime because they worked 42 hours? We suggest you don't do that. The time tracker is just to help us get clear on their tasks they're doing. You want to pay these VAs on a salary basis. So you have, let's just say they do that work that's 37 and a half hours, you're paying them for 40. If they work that 42 hours, you're paying them for 40. So, okay, let's move on. So important, your pay is on a salary basis, not affected by the time tracker. tracker or time spent on tasks or projects. We understand at first most tasks will take longer until you get the hang of things. Tracking your time will help us gauge your growth and show us if additional help or training is needed. The time tracker you use is up to you. We suggest the following. We give them 4 examples here. All these should have a free option. There's no need to pay for a tracker. Your first month on the team will be focused on training, getting set up, going through simple tasks to get you immersed into the world of commercial real estate. Throughout this whole process, your job is to tell us anything that doesn't make sense or if you're having any issues. As a reminder, you are being hired on a full-time position, 40 hours per week. Your salary is per month and will be paid on the 1st and 15th of each month. Our suggestion here, side note, is you pay them twice a month. A lot of them are accustomed to getting paid once a month, but we have found that for morale and excitement, every 2 weeks is great. You do not want to pay them weekly. That's just too much managing. So 1st and 15th works good. Okay, let's move on. Note, we'll be training you on how to create standard operating procedures, SOPs, so that you and others on the team can go back and reference various tasks with step-by-step instructions. This will be one of your responsibilities to keep them organized and updated. If there are tasks that need to be updated or made clear, we will ask your help on this. This makes training so much easier in the event we expand our team or need a refresher on specific tasks. Looking forward to working with you. Let us know if you have any questions or if any of the links provided are not working. Sincerely, the Leveraged VA team. All right, let's move into the essential steps before hiring your VA. Number 1, finalize the VA roles and initial tasks that we walk through. Review the list of interview questions. And by the way, when you're on the interview, just be yourself, be relaxed, easy going, so you can make the VA feel comfortable. Request that the VA tell you a story about themselves to learn more about them, and then take excellent notes on each candidate. Number 3, be organized. This goes a long way for a VA. And a side note on this, one of the biggest reasons why a new person gets excited, they're going to leverage a person from the Philippines, they start working with them, they're not organized. They don't have it clear exactly what they want this person to do. They're hoping the person will tell them what they should be doing, and it's backwards, and it just causes a lot of frustration. So with you already having training folders, being organized like this will go a long way. So make sure that you have a cloud software. We're using OneDrive and Google Drive, but there's also iCloud, Dropbox, Notion, etc. And on this one right here, the temptation is, hey, I'm just going to have my company go ahead and give my VA access. Most U.S. companies do not want people from outside the U.S. internationally getting access to their servers. So it's just going to be easier if you can pick 1 or 2 of these softwares that you guys can share files between each other and not have to get the companies involved. Also, training. We got the mini tutorial videos you'll be doing. Also, we've got manuals, our training as well. And note, an average VA can become a great VA over time if you have a training process in place. We got the standard operating procedures, SOPs. Having those in place will help. Your project management tools, pick one. We use Asana. We'll show you exactly what we do in Asana. Communication tools, we use Outlook and Slack every day. It works great, but there's others out there with Google and Teams. And then your weekly recap and monthly goals and calls. We recommend that you have a weekly recap call on Mondays, every single Monday. And then we recommend that you have team calls the other 3 days in the week. So we recommend minimum 3 days up to 4 days per week that you're on a call with your VA. This goes a long way. And I will say on this, as brokers, what happens is we have the best intentions. We start getting busy. We don't make this a priority. And before you know it, you're talking to your VA once every 2 weeks. That's the fastest way to get a lot of frustration, disconnect. They're on the same page. There's a lot of, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was missing that. The first 3 to 4 months that you have your VA, make these calls your highest priority. It's huge. And we have another point that actually talks into that as well. So you got the weekly recap, the team calls, and then a monthly goal review call where you're going over how well the team is doing for the whole month. Number 4, make available these initial how-to SOPs for your VA. So yes, they're going to be in charge of VAs. Yes, they're going to start making them, but it would be so great if you could have a couple of these in place before they even start. We recommend, how do you manage your email? and or your calendar. One task or two tasks from your shouldn't be doing list. One or two tasks that cause you stress or anxiety, and then create an SOP on how to create an SOP. And no, your VA will be taking over all of the SOPs for your commercial real estate business once they learn how to do it. So that's a great way to help them learn. No, when creating your SOPs, think about how you would explain something to a fifth grader and hedge up for mistakes. Ask yourself, what did you often mess up the first time you were learning these? When you are walking someone through how to do something step by step, chances are you might even mess something up. You might even miss out a step that should have been in there. Just be willing to understand there will be some mess ups, and that's fine. And the reason why we say explain like to a fifth grader, because we have a lot of jargon in commercial real estate. We use acronyms and things. We spew words out, cap rates, CRE, right? We've got all of these terms that the person we're hiring does not know any of it. And so if you in your head can just take it back to a really simple, you're talking to a fifth grader, chances are you'll communicate it really clear and make it super easy for them to understand as they're moving forward on these. Okay, number 5, be clear of your expectations, 100% clear. You're going to we have a VA rules book that we're creating for you. And this rule book, we want you to get familiar with it. It's going to give the VA job expectation, company values, pay amount, rules to be followed, bonus structures, if any, days and times for team calls, anything else that's important. We're going to give you a really good structure, and then we want you to jump in and just make it yours. You won't have to change a lot, but it would be good for you to get really familiar with that VA rule book. And we'll be walking you through those documents later. Okay, number 6, and this is one I stressed out, is over communicate. Do not underestimate the value of communicating with your VA. Their goal is not to disappoint you. They would rather ghost you than disappoint you. So communication is key. As long as you're communicating, you're letting them know they're doing a good job. You're letting them know they're on track. You're letting them know that you're appreciating the work they're doing, that they're getting better. If they feel like they are helping, they feel like that they're part of the team and making a difference, they will love working with you and stay working with you. So communication is key. Can't stress that enough. All right. So that is the end of this video. We will see you in the next one. Thanks.